Hey guys, what's up? It's that Hummer Kid, and we've, as you could tell, really got into it. So, remember when I was talking about these little wires that came out back here? Turns out they were wired to, which are these two cables right here, they're wired to the rear cargo light. So in the HMC4 configuration, the cargo light switch, which is over there, you've got dome, which are these two interior lights, and cargo. On the HMCS wagon, that is the dome light, and the cargo light is the one that's in the rear, above the wagon top. So in the HMC4 configuration, that cargo light is this rear one back here. It's a little truck bed light, which is really small and with incandescent bulbs doesn't really do much, but whatever. So what they did is, I would imagine that these were like pod lights or some type of something like that. So when they wanted light back there to pull the deer up and whatever, they would flip that switch, and then both of those would be activated, these little flood lamp or whatever. But like I said, they did a professional job. They literally took out everything back here. Like, there's all of that. I had to label all of that and all of that out there. I mean, I took off all of this because all this has to come off to get, I call piece number 4, this rear assembly, off of it. Total mess. And you can tell they didn't do that with the original. This is originally competition yellow. They did not do that when they painted it. So again, when this thing gets a paint job, it's going to be done professionally. No more, you take any piece off of this, it's going to be gloss black. So, and you can tell that's already black from the factory. So this is really cool. You can also see the C-pillar here. They attach it just like the military versions. This is obviously altered. It's weird. It's kind of flattened. You can see where they go from a tube form there to flat. Otherwise, this is like a conventional B-pillar that would be on a Humvee, or C-pillar, sorry. That's pretty cool. Another thing, see if someone's been fucking up here. These lights typically don't work. I had one that I saw in Rhode Island. None of those work. They didn't bother to connect any of them. It's little things like that. There's a tons of little things, and you can tell the back wall is actually held on by Velcro that needs to be reattached. Velcro and screws. I mean, it's pretty bare bones. Remember, the AM General literally took a Humvee and then just spiced it up a little bit. So it wasn't done like super well. It's just like, oh, you know, we'll screw it, and then to hold it in place, we'll do Velcro. Yeah, Velcro looks good. So whatever. These are the gun racks that I guess they riveted to that, so I'm gonna have to drill that rivet out to take these off, because again, we're restoring it. And then I'm going to revert this wiring back to its original factory harness. So I think those actually goes to this light, which is currently on right now, but these splices are coming out, and it's going to get reverted back to original. So this, let me pull this guy out, because they went to either side. And again, this is just more aftermarket shit. This wasn't even on a switch. This was just tied to the cargo light, like I discussed. So this is getting ripped out. They did a great job. I mean, they did a great job on this. If like, I'm glad the mods were done correctly. They took all of this out, redid the whole thing. I mean, they did nice connectors. Like, you know, I gotta give them credit, honestly. And they took the whole thing off so they could also do this as well. But it's time to do things right. And by right, I mean factory original, because that's the name of the game. These things get torn apart and molested all the time. Aftermarket bullshit all over the place that you've got to rip the truck apart to get to fix their things. And if this is done incorrectly, or if it wears over time, your truck can catch fire, and then bye-bye Hummer, because it's in flames. It happens a lot with stereo wiring when they try to do crazy. Like I was talking about, the one I saw in Rhode Island just had it was insane. Like 12 TV screens, 15 speakers. I mean, the entire back was just subwoofer. It was intense. It was funny. But yeah, that stuff can go bad so easily. And like I said, they neglect a lot of the small things, like little details that never get touched up. So 100% functioning truck does require all of this bullshit aftermarket stuff to get removed because we don't want it. So in case you were wondering what's behind your C-pillar and all that, as I call it, piece number 4 that's sitting over there, this is what it is. And I'm also going to go over my method of what I'm doing to ensure that I can put everything back together. As you notice, to get to just this rear portion, really to get to this, which kind of snaked up through there over to that, there's a lot that has to come off, like the strikers, you know, this closeout panel, both of the seatbelt, male and female. Actually, I could have left that on. I don't know why I took that off, but I did, because I'm probably going to clean this piece or something. A lot of the interior pieces, almost all of them, I think I'm going to refinish anyways and repair, because some of them have cracked due to age. There's a couple examples of that somewhere, not here. And those, I mean, you can get like leather vinyl repair kits. It's like plastic welding. I might as well do it. You can't do it on these textured pieces that have this finish. Kind of see that? That doesn't show up too good. But on flat pieces like this, especially for structural integrity, I might as well do it while it's out. And then of course, all these are going to get deep cleaned and refinished. So the process I'm doing is basically each of these are going to get put into a master bag, and the master bag is going to be passenger side, driver side. So you get 2 master bags. In that are 2 sub-master bags. Passenger rear, passenger front, driver rear. So these are all the passenger rear parts, and they're labeled like seatbelts female. I've also taken pictures of where every screw goes, what the lengths of those screws are, and that kind of thing. The assembly structure of the screw, then what washers and nuts go where. Passenger rear striker, things like that. And then the actual larger equipment is just out there. The larger trim pieces, I've taken photographs of where they are, and then you can see I've got the hardware attached behind passenger seat rear 3. I have a picture of where this number 3 panel goes. So I know it's on this side because it's on this side of the truck, and all of that is be putting into a master bin. Same process. Same thing with everything over here. Numbered, so the trim pieces are numbered, hardware's numbered in bags, and then organized and sorted that way. By the way, if you haven't seen it, this is the subwoofer. This is the Monsoon, and just everything's so dusty. But that sits right under here, which, by the way, well, I've got you guys here. I did find some cool stuff in the civilian Hummer that I should have found in the military, but I didn't. So I found 2 bullet, and these guys are Hornady 7mm Remington mag. And I also found this lighter that still works, and some gum and some other stuff. So that was cool. But yeah, so all of this is getting cleaned up. The other side, like I said, I did clean before. This is what it looked like before I cleaned it. And this is probably going to come out too and get deep cleaned, like steam cleaned, all that good stuff with some detailing products. All of the foam and stuff is going to be put back correctly with new adhesive and new tape. Velcro is going to get redone on the receiving side for that piece. It's going to be brand new, so everything is as good as it can get, which is pretty much perfect. So yeah, going through this. And then of course, these things will come off, and then the little weather strip panels on the body side, and everything will get painted. So it'll be a really nice paint job. It also allows me to get in to do body work for things like to get on both sides of this hole to make sure it's nice and flush. So yeah, just another kind of little bit of an update on the rear here now that we've got all that pretty stuff removed. Doing some repair work, the electrical to the body, putting everything back together after the pieces are re-dyed, refinished, or refurbished, or replaced. And yeah, we'll continue that for the rest of the truck so we can get all of this nice for the paint job. Then pretty much we take the whole truck apart. After it's taken apart, we can put it back together with everything refurbished, refinished, and after the truck's already painted. So small little update. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to get back to tearing this thing apart.